I had nowhere to go. I was exhausted. I felt like I was gonna die, either from the cold or from hunger. I hoped that I could rest for a couple of hours at Tiffany's place, get my energy back, and figure out what to do next. I'd only been to her new apartment once before. I only had a vague memory of exactly where it was, but I was sure that this was the street. Watching Tiffany's apartment, of course. They assumed that I'd show up here looking for a place to hide. I have to find another way in. Police. There must be some way to get around. That window leads to Tiffany's apartment. If only I could find a way to open it. I wasn't too proud about breaking into Tiffany's apartment like a common criminal, but I had no choice. I hadn't eaten in almost a day. I was starting to feel weak and tired.
You have one new message today at 10:41.
Hello, Miss Harper. I'm Detective Carla Valenti from the New York City Police Department. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I'll try.
That's the end of my story. I suppose I wasn't strong enough mentally to be able to bear what happened to me. I wasn't too proud about breaking into Tiffany's apartment like a common criminal, but I had no choice. I hadn't eaten in almost a day. I was starting to feel weak and tired. Nothing to eat here. Nothing to eat here. My picture's in all the newspapers. I can be identified by just about anyone in the street now. I'm going to have to be very careful. I guess I'm out of danger for now. I'll wait for Tiffany to get back before I leave.
have 1. New message. Today at 10:41.
Hello, Miss Harper. I'm Detective Carla Valenti from the New York City Police Department. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I'll try calling you back a little later today.
And for an expert's point of view on the subject, we have with us today one of the most renowned specialists on Mayan civilization, Professor Dmitry Kuryakin of the Mesoamerican University here in New York. Thanks for being with us today, Professor. You've written a fascinating book on Mayan rituals, and I wanted to ask you if...
A specialist in Mayan civilization. He'd known what Kekteklan means. Gotta meet this Professor Kuryakin.
You scared me. What are you doing here?
The police are looking for me. I needed a place to hide for a few hours.
Lucas, what happened to you? The papers are saying that you killed several people. Is it true?
The whole thing is very complicated. All I can tell you is that I am not a murderer.
I know you're not capable of doing what they said you did, Lucas. You have to explain. You have to tell them you're innocent.
I've got to find out exactly what's happened to me, Tiffany. It's the only way I can prove my innocence.
Lucas, it's the police. What are we gonna do?
Look, I'm sure they just want to ask you a few questions. Just stay calm, Tiffany, and answer their questions. I'll hide in the apartment. Everything will be fine. You'll see.
Miss Harper? Miss Harper, are you home?
Yes, just a second. I'm coming. Lucas, I can't keep them waiting anymore. I've got to open the door.
Miss Harper?
Yes?
I'm Detective Tyler Miles, NYPD. I'm working on the Lucas Kane case. I think that you two were romantically involved, isn't that right?
We're involved, yes. But we separated. We broke up about a month ago.
Have you heard from Mr. Kane recently? Has he tried to contact you?
I went by his apartment day before yesterday to pick up the last of my things. We hardly spoke. I haven't heard from him since.
Do you mind if I look around your apartment?
Well, it's just that...
Hey, I'll only be a minute.
Go ahead.
Doing a little redecorating?
Yes, the apartment wasn't in very good shape, so I've been painting it. It's taking a long time with my job. I don't have much time to...
And what do you do?
I'm a nurse. I work at St. John's Hospital.
What happened to your window here?
Oh, that. I broke the glass while moving some furniture last night. The window repairman promised to stop in today, but I guess he forgot me.
cooperation, miss. If Kane does try to recontact you, please call me right away. Here's my card. Be careful, miss. Kane's a very dangerous man.
Hello, my name is Barney.
Detective Carla Valenti.
You've come to see Janus, isn't that right? He's down the second corridor on the right. You finished? Oh, another power outage. That's the sixth time today. Not surprising, though, with this cold weather. Good thing the hospital's got its own backup generator. Remember, Janus's cell is down the second corridor on the right. One of my colleagues is waiting to open the cell for you. I'll be watching you. Don't worry, you'll be fine.
Thank you, Barney. I wasn't sure exactly what I expected to find out by coming here. Kane was the killer, there was no doubt about that. And yet, I needed to know just what happened in the strange case of the Kirsten.